missiles, oil choke points, and a war with no off-ramp. Iran says diplomacy is over and warns of surprises ahead. As tensions explode with the US and Israel, is the Middle East sliding toward a wider war? Senior Iranian officials have warned that Tehran is preparing for a prolonged confrontation with the United States and Israel, while signaling that the conflict could escalate further across the region. Officials say continued attacks could also pressure Gulf states to push President Donald Trump to step back from the war. In an interview with CNN in Tehran, Kamal Kharazi, a senior foreign policy advisor to the office of Iran's supreme leader, said diplomacy is effectively off the table for now. According to Kharazi, the conflict will only end when economic pressure generated by the war forces other countries to intervene.
I don't see room for diplomacy anymore, Kharazi said,
accusing Washington of attacking Iran, even while negotiations were ongoing. He argued that meaningful talks could only resume if international pressure compels the United States and Israel to halt what he described as aggression against Iran. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi also struck a defiant tone, mocking the US military campaign and warning of further escalation.
9 days into Operation Epic Mistake, oil prices have doubled while commodities are skyrocketing.
Araghchi added that Tehran believes Washington is targeting Iran's oil and nuclear facilities in an attempt to trigger a major inflationary shock. Araghchi further said,
Iran is fully prepared. We have many surprises in store.
The conflict is already creating ripple effects across global energy markets. Iran's security chief Ali Larijani warned that stability in the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz cannot return as long as the fighting continues. Taking to his X handle, Larijani wrote,
It is unlikely that any security can be achieved in the Strait of Hormuz amid the fires ignited by the United States and Israel in the region.
His remarks came after France said it was discussing a possible defensive naval mission with allies to reopen safe passage through the key shipping corridor. Roughly 1/5 of the world's oil supply normally passes through the Strait of Hormuz, making the waterway one of the most important choke points in global energy trade. Any prolonged disruption could have severe economic consequences far beyond the Middle East. Meanwhile, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, the Speaker of Iran's parliament, accused Washington of threatening civilian populations. Responding to recent statements by Trump, Ghalibaf said the US president had officially announced that he considers people's groups as targets for attack, calling it an admission by what he described as a terrorist American government. He warned that attacks on population centers would have uncontrollable consequences, adding that Iran would respond recklessly and without restraint if civilians were targeted. Military officials have also indicated that Iran is preparing to intensify its missile campaign. Majid Mousavi, commander of the Aerospace Division of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, said Iran will now launch only missiles carrying warheads exceeding 1 ton. According to Mousavi, the frequency, scale, and scope of Iranian missile strikes will increase in the coming phases of the war. An IRGC spokesperson separately said that Iran is currently using roughly 60% of its firepower to strike US bases and what it describes as American strategic interests across the region. A senior American lawmaker has issued a stark warning to Iran, while also suggesting that control over global oil reserves could reshape the future of the Middle East. Lindsey Graham, a veteran Republican senator and longtime advocate of US military intervention abroad, has said it would be worth spending money to bring down the Iranian government. Speaking during an interview on Fox News on Sunday, Graham said the fall of the Iranian leadership would transform the region.
When this regime goes down, we're going to have a new Middle East, and we're going to make a ton of money. Venezuela and Iran have 31% of the world's oil reserves. We're going to have a partnership with 31% of the known reserves. This is China's nightmare. This is a good investment.
Graham, a close ally of Donald Trump, and a vocal supporter of Israel, has advocated confrontation with Iran for many years. Iranian officials swiftly reacted to those remarks. On March 9th, the spokesman for Iran's foreign ministry, Esmail Baghai, accused the United States of attempting to seize Iran's natural resources. Baghai shared a video of the senator's interview and argued it revealed Washington's true motivations. In a brief message, the Iranian spokesman summed up his reaction in blunt terms. In his words, it was a very rare moment of honesty. According to Baghai, the conflict ultimately comes down to one thing: oil. Baghai claimed Washington's real objective was to divide Iran and gain control over its oil wealth. He said the alleged plan aimed to violate Iran's sovereignty and undermine the country and its people. The comments come amid a widening conflict following the joint military assault launched by the United States and Israel against Iran on February 28th. Graham has been among several Republican lawmakers who publicly supported the operation. Speaking earlier this month, President Donald Trump defended the strikes, saying an Iranian government armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would represent a serious threat to the United States. However, some experts have questioned that justification, arguing that claims of an imminent Iranian threat lacked legal foundation and may represent a misuse of international law. The conflict has also triggered significant economic consequences. Global oil prices have surged above $100 a barrel, placing pressure on the international economy. At the same time, Iran has launched retaliatory strikes against Gulf states that host American military facilities. These attacks have disrupted regional energy production, stranded fuel tankers, and forced several countries within the Gulf Cooperation Council to close their airspace. In the weeks before the conflict began, Graham made multiple visits to Israel where he met officials linked to Mossad. During those trips, he also spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. According to reporting by the Wall Street Journal, Graham discussed ways Israel could persuade President Trump to take action against Iran. The senator later said Israeli intelligence presented to Trump helped convince him to launch the joint military campaign. Iran, however, has repeatedly denied seeking nuclear weapons and insists its nuclear program is intended solely for civilian purposes.